As an internship team, we spent the day in Millcreek, Utah with Tonya Reiter, a leading historian in the field of Black history in Utah. Millcreek used to be a thriving agricultural community for Black farmers. We had the privilege of hearing their stories and their contributions to the early agricultural development of Utah.
There has been a group of Black LDS people in Millcreek for many years, and a lot of people have thought that they were given their land out here, that somehow they were settled on it by Brigham Young, and that's not true. They bought the land. The first couple that came out here was Sylvester James, who was Jane Manning James's oldest son. And he bought the land, and if I'm remembering, I think it was in the late 1870s, and he and his wife settled on that land and started a little farm. And then gradually, more people that were related to them moved out here. And I think the next group was Samuel Chambers and Amanda Chambers, who came to Utah with Amanda's brother Ned and his wife Susan and 3 children. And they soon came out to Millcreek and started their own little farm. And then they ended up going to some other places. They went to Union, and then they went up to Idaho. But the little group that was in Millcreek stayed there for years and years. And Samuel and Amanda probably had the most success. They had quite a few acres, and they used to grow a lot of grapes and black currants. People back then used to like to make jam out of the black currants. And so Samuel was kind of famous for being this Black farmer that grew these products, and people would come from the city and come out and buy it from him. And then Amanda would take her produce and a little wagon and go into, we think, Holiday, and sell to people in Holiday. And I guess they also had dairy products, but they were self-sustaining farms. So Mary Lucille Perkins, Bankhead, who was one of the later people to live out here, she describes, you know, what the produce was and what they always raised animals. And her dad would always, they'd always have a pig. And the farmers sort of cooperated with the white neighborhood really well. The Black and white people worked together when they needed to hay, or when they needed to, you know, pull in the produce and slaughter the pigs and all that stuff. They would work together. So it was quite it was somewhat of a unique situation, I think. I can tell you that from the oral histories I've read, it seems like one of the younger women who lived out here, the way she put it is, we were all on the same boot, which I think means nobody was rich, but they all got by. And a lot of them had to have other jobs, like the men would sometimes work on the road crews, or they would take other jobs. I know one man used to work for one of the hay farmers, and he'd work on his hay farm too. So nobody got rich, although I think they looked to Samuel Chambers as their richest relative. It's hard to know exactly what that meant, though. He had a big house, I can say that. All in all, I think it was a pretty good life.